Hi. So, my project is about the solitary confinement and how it affects prisoners over time. So, the first video that I'm going to show you is from the perspective of Herman Wallace. He's a man who spent a very long time in solitary confinement for a not good reason. I hope you enjoy the first video. There will be another. I put a lot of effort into it, and I hope that my phenomenal and amazing acting doesn't distract you from the point of the video. Okay, let's just watch the video. Okay. Mr. Herman Wallace, your food is here. We'll be back to retrieve the tray later. We're here for the tray. Not hungry? Well, we'll be back in 8 hours. It's lights out. Ooh. Wasn't that just such an amazing video? The second video is about, it's an interview with a young man who is also in solitary confinement. He was stuck there for a lot of his life too, for another unjust reason, just like Herman Wallace. So, this interview that you're gonna see is based on a real interview that happened, so it's not like made up or anything. Yeah, I couldn't afford really any other actors for this interview, so it's just me. But we made do. Well, I made do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one as well. Okay. Thank you. You may all take a seat. I'd like to formally welcome you all to today's episode of Ranger's Interview. Before we begin, I'd like to give a special thanks to the editor of today's episode, Ranger Mabry. Ah, there he is. What a charming, beautiful, and handsome man. Now, last week's episode, we interviewed a strange man who claimed to have, quote, seen a giraffe with a short neck, which actually just turned out to be a deer. And for today's episode, we will be interviewing a young man named Ian Manuel, who faced 26 years in prison starting out at the young age of 14. Now, Ian, I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to be taking a few notes as I ask you some questions. Is that all right?
Sure.
Great to hear. All right. To start right off, our first question is, how did you wind up in solitary confinement?
Well, it's a couple reasons I ended up in solitary confinement. So first of all, I was placed in solitary confinement my first day in prison based on my age and my size.
So the whole idea was basically to protect you?
Yeah, initially. Then after 3 weeks at the reception center, I was transferred to adult prison at 14 and given all the responsibilities of an adult. In prison, their way of punishing you is to put you in solitary confinement. And these officers, they would yell at me and I'd yell back, and I found myself at age 15 placed in long-term solitary confinement, a place I would stay for 18 consecutive years.
Goodness, that is a hard life to imagine. Can we possibly understand what solitary confinement is like?
It's torture to the soul. Ewan says that if you keep someone in solitary confinement for more than 15 days, it's considered torture. Not everybody turns out like old Ian Manuel, released with their sanity, their humanity, and their talent intact. Most people go crazy and lose their minds under those circumstances. In solitary, you have to dive into your imagination, but to stay sane, you also have to come up for air. For people who reality is too painful, well, they stay beneath the surface.
That truly does sound hellish, and I'm very grateful that you were able to pull through it so that you can share your story with us today. Unfortunately, that is all the time that we have for today, but it has been absolutely phenomenal talking to you, Ian, and I hope that we get to talk again very soon. And to our audience, thank you. Our next episode will involve a man who claims to have found Kim K's lost ocean earring. See you next time, and thank you again. Okay. Well, that's all I have for now. I did put a lot of effort into it. I'm pretty proud of it overall. I was gonna have a blooper reel, but I accidentally deleted all the bloopers, so that's not gonna happen anymore. I got pictures of my cat though, if you want them. Just a few. It won't be long. I'm sorry, Misfits. But yeah, his name's Batman. So, thank you for watching.
SpongeBob, Patrick, Sandy, Mr. Krab.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Goodbye.